Hello, my name is Dr. Riaz, and in this lecture, I'm going to explain about the methodology, procedure, and ethical consideration in research. So, first of all, methodology. Methodology refers to the theory of getting knowledge to the consideration of the best way, method, or procedure by which data that will provide evidence base for the construction of knowledge about whatever it is that is being researched and built. So this is the methodology. Methodology is concerned with the description and analysis a research method rather than with the actual practical use of the method. Methodology work is philosophical thinking, but methodology is overall approach to particular research project to the overarching study. Procedure method. Specific research techniques that are used to collect and analyze the data. Methodology. There are a lot of types of methodology, case study, action research, and so many. And what are the procedure? Procedure in interviews, questionnaire, observation, document analysis, test, questionnaire, and interview to collect information in order to evaluate intervention that is. So, this is the procedure and methodology that we use in the research. So, mostly students ask how to select the methodology and procedure. Research has to be able to justify and argue a methodology case for the reason for choosing a particular approach and specific procedure. Methodology and procedure determine the nature of finding of research. What is the nature of research? Decision about which methodology and procedure will be used influenced by what can actually be done, what is practical and feasible by situation factor of various kind and by personal prediction and interest. So in methodology, we have methods and procedure that will influence on other. It's a practical and feasible. Think about implication for research design. So the research physical, social, political, and historical context in which the research project will be located. We can imply the research. Research, the reason why they are doing the research, they conceptualize situation they are researching, the sort of question that are seeking answer for, the type of information that their question will be produced, the scale of the research, and the financial, personal, and other sources available to conduct it. So, before the implication for research design, we keep all these points in our mind. The nature of research population and ability of information to provide particular type of response. Ethical and moral issue relevant at the various stages of the research process. If applicable, what are the requirements and expectation of any organization or body that is commissioned or funding research? As you know, anybody that provide the funding, they have some expectation for research. And when and over what time scale the research will be done. Next, researcher positionality. The most significant factor that influences choice and use of methodology and procedure is to where the researcher is coming from in terms of their philosophical position and their fundamental assumption concern. First, social reality, their ontological assumption, the nature of knowledge, their epistemological assumption, human nature and agency, specifically their assumption about the way in which human beings relate to and interact with environment. So assumption in research, assumptions are colored by values and beliefs that are based in political allegiance, religious faith, and experience that are consequent upon social class. Every society, they have an assumption, their political, religious, culture, and ethnicity, gender, sexuality, historical, and geographical, and location, and so on. Paradigm, basic set of beliefs that guide action. So in society, there is some basic belief. Every society has its own belief. Education has two main paradigms, as you know, and these two paradigms are qualitative and quantitative. So we assume that there are two or three like quantitative and qualitative and mixed method search. Search paradigm. Do you view the nature of knowledge as two categories? Hard, real, capable of being transmitted in tangible form? Then, implicit view of knowledge. No knowledge exists that which is objectivity, immediately observable. You are classed as a positive objective. You are likely to apply quantitative procedures such as a survey, undertaking large study, searching for generalized. So, hard, real, capable of being transparent, intangible knowledge, and that is the type of the quantitative procedure. On the other hand, softer, subjective, based on experience and insight of essentially personal nature is the qualitative, that is rationalist view of knowledge. Knowledge is perceived as created in the mind of individual. The class as an anti-positivist, interpretivist, and subjective state. We like to apply qualitative procedure which focus on individual or small group, more concerned with understanding personal construct and reliability. So there are two types of knowledge. One is qualitative and other is quantitative, a research paradigm. Ontological assumption concerning the research of social reality. Ontological assumptions focus on whether a person seeks social reality or aspect of social world, an external, independent, human, and objective real, or instead as a social construct, subjectivity experience, and the result of human thought as expressed through language, and that is ontological. How they view the social world as the implication for the sort of methodology and procedure they are likely to consider to the valid mean of collecting valid data that can be used to make a valid interpretation, thus creating valid knowledge. So in this way, we can produce a valid knowledge in ontological. If social constructive position is taken, it will be necessary to collect subjective account and perception that explain how the world is experienced and constructed by people who live in it. Epistemological assumption concern the base for knowledge. Epistemology is a theory of knowledge. Grafton suggests that epistemology and particularly the relation between methodology and procedure and knowledge and truth is contention and controversial area for researcher and consumer of the researcher. Emphasis on account given by informant either verbally or interview or written in the questionnaire. Issue of how words can actually reflect reality and experience is complex and problematic in, let's say, epistemological assumption. Such a state their position explicitly, tentative and cautious in presentation in case of epistemological assumption. Assumption concern human nature and agency, concerned with the way in which human beings are seen to act with the world, action, in innate instinctual forces are external conditions and forces. Whatever you view inevitably apply to you and research population. It is a complex area that highlights the issue of social power and agency as well as raising questions about natural behavior. If people are believed to have in predetermined or reactive way, their observation and experiment will be appropriate technique. If they are failed to make a decision about what to do, the procedure will seek explanation and understanding from their perspective. So these are assumptions concerning human nature and agency. Ethical issue and question. Research and design. Access. Where we have to access research. Procedure of data collection. What is the procedure of data collection? What is the research relationship, interpretation and analysis, writing of research, dissemination, avoidance, the doing activity. So research design. What exactly do you want to know and why do you want to know it? Can you justify your interest? It is a very important point. What exactly do you want to know and why do you want to know? If you are intending to do something that is anyway experimental, what are the implications of people who will be involved? If you are using control group, will people assigned to it miss out anything that you suspect will be beneficial? Can be it justify in research design, and you have to keep these points in mind. So far, you are able to have thought about potential attendant unexpected consequence either to the people directly on what in research as a result you might find. If you are intended to cover research of some kind, can you justify it? How do you regard the people you are going to research at? Access. How are you going to access your research population if you choose to do your research with people who do not possess such social power, children, captive population, your own student, can justify and why? And are you expected? So this is the some access. And you have to think everything before conducting the research. Procedure of data collected. Are you asking people think you would not want to ask? Sometimes people do not give information which you want. Are you asking people to do things that you would not want to be asked to do? So these are the questions which you have to keep in mind